All right. So, like I said, I am Kola Olaleye, and we'll be looking into chapter 2 today. We last class we look at um, the chapter 1, talking about the concepts and need for assurance. So, in that we talk about the concept of audit. What is audit itself? What is assurance? Uh, what are the things that guide the preparation of the auditor? What are the responsibilities of the auditor? What are the responsibilities of the management, the directors of the business? I think we talk about the aspect of agency, where we said the owners of the business, the shareholders, are the principals, while the directors are the agents. They act on behalf of the shareholders of the business to ensure that the business is being carried on, and with the interest of the shareholders in mind, to ensure that the business is driven towards an achievement. So towards the set objective rather, sorry. So we can look at it from that aspect and say, okay, we have an assurance. Why the need for assurance is for people, the users of the financial statement, to have an assurance that yes, this financial statement I'm picking up is not going to cause issues for me. If I rely on it to take a decision, I want to buy a company share, I want to do this, I want to do that, I can confidently rely on it, and I conveniently use the data in there to make decision, and I'll be sure, because there is an assurance on that financial statement that I picked up, for me to be able to make my decision. And we say we have regulatory authority that makes sure these financial statements are well coordinated. So we say we also have ISAs, International Standards on Auditing, to ensure that financial statements are prepared through a fair view, and opinion are given as needed and as it is required. So I think that is the summary. We I think I gave an assignment. I'm not sure anybody did it. Well, so let me say this. When we give an assignment, please, it's important you please, I beg in the name of God. Okay, this is a free class, but then you're just gonna waste my time, my colleagues' time, if you don't make us proud. Do anybody know that? Anybody, do you know that is the reality? If we use our time to take you free of charge, we're not collecting any dime, and you did not make us proud, um, that will not be fine. So please, and passing an ICAN exam starts from now, because this is the beginning, and it is always good that we take advantage of everything we have to ensure that we are guided against any form of lapses. Just imagine that you started reading from now, like the way you would have read in 2 weeks to the exam. You started reading like that now. I mean, there is nothing I can want to set that you will not be familiar with. And once you are familiar with everything that they want to set, it becomes easier for you to pass. Because one good thing I know about ICANN is everything they set is in their syllabus. Now the onus not like lies on you to say, okay, maybe you finish the syllabus, because some people go to ICANN with so many predictions, like, okay, they will set this, they said this last night, they did not set that one, so they will not set this one. This one, this one will enter. So all those things are, it's like gambling. Why not read it? Why not, even for your knowledge sake, why not read it deeply? So please, I beg us in the name of God. I beg us in the name of, some people don't believe in God. I don't know if those people are here. Me, I believe in God. That's why I said in the name of God. Please don't be offended. Huh? So I beg you in the name of God, please read, and please Don't just read. Make us proud. Don't have the mindset of you just need 50. Have the mindset of you want to be excellent in the exams. Hmm? And I'm sure that we'll all come out in great and flying colors by the special grace of God. Thank you. So, without much ado, with all the preachings, we're looking into chapter 2. So, chapter 2 is professional ethics and codes of conduct. People here, they are too gentle. What happened? Am I talking to somebody? Huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
with you,
fine.
sir. We are going
Conversation.
with you. Professional ethics and code of conduct.
Okay, sir. Okay.
We are following.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for the response. So we have professional ethics and code of conduct. Just looking at this name, professional ethics, profession, ethics, and the codes of conduct. So anybody can just look at this and say, okay, this is what we want to talk about today, because so anybody can look at this and look at, okay, profession. What's the profession? Profession is is accounting, accounting profession. Ethics is what guides us in ethics is what we say this is right. These are do's and don'ts that are common to humanity and that is acceptable by people or a community. Then we have the code of conduct. The code of conduct is now the set of principles that we have to follow as a professional for us to be excellent in what we do. And that is a summary of chapter 2. But then I can want to dribble you, and you need to give it back to them that you are more than Messi Ronaldo. You are who you are. Hmm? Now, so now we have applications of I'm getting feedbacks. Let me make the person. Okay, the person is sorry, I need to mute this person because of the feedback. Something. So, so like I said, so there is application of professional ethics. Now, the law regulates some aspects of auditing, but professional bodies like ICAN have a wider reach, applying to external and internal. So, of course, we know that we have laws in Nigeria. Guys, how we live, how we do things, who should audit. I mean, how public limited liability should operate, their corporate governance, all those things. But then ICANN is there to ensure that the application of professional ethics is more rooted to people that are becoming a chartered accountant. To people that are chartered accountants, it is more rooted to say you behave this way, you behave that way, and that is the way it works. Meaning that we the laws must regulate the accounting profession. Otherwise, there won't be sanity in the. I mean, you see so much sanity in accounting now, despite the fact that we have more chartered accountant than in those days. Why? Because there are principles, there are codes of conduct that you must follow. When you become a chartered accountant, they will say, raise this your right hand, raise it, and confess like this, and take a oath. You're gonna take a oath. So these things may not mean anything to us, but it is a lot to so many people. So, in essence, it is to say that we have rules, laws, principles that guides the profession of accounting. So we have ICAN codes of conduct. So the ICAN code of conduct is um, is for professional accountants, and all members must comply by it. Now, so all the members of sorry, we know what is IFAC, right? IFAC is International Financial uh, International Federation of Accountants. Sorry, International Federation of Accountants. So it is the code of ethics is based on IFAC code of conduct. We call it IFAC code of conduct. So we still say the code of conduct, all those integrity, all those confidentiality, professional competence, and due care. My, sorry, he's a student. So, so ICAN code of conduct is the ethic that guides the professional accountant. All must comply by it. The code applies to all members, including students, staff of ICAN practices. So, acting in public interest. Of course, we know that we try as much as possible. What we do is like we are speaking for the public in whatever we do. So we are speaking for the public in whatever we do because you auditing a financial statement means that you are giving your word to say you will not be misled if you use this financial statement, audited financial statement to make a decision. That is what we are saying. You are giving that assurance because you are saying the project is, I mean, the audited financial statement is free from every material errors and is prepared in true and fair view to your knowledge. So acting in public interest, professional bodies like I can have responsibility to act in public, like when you're taking decision, your personal interest should be lower compared to the interest of the masses. The public interest should come first. You shouldn't say, okay, because of this is what I'm going to gain, this is what I'm going to make, let me do it this way. No, there, there is a place for public interest. Public interest is the general public, the people that will use the financial statement. So your own interest should not overrule them. Because if you mislead people, the people that will suffer will be much more than you, that you are just one person. So it is important that you take public interest in good faith and make sure that they are not uh, led astray because of your decision. Now, we have the public interest associated with detecting and reporting serious misdemeanor or crimes, protecting health and public safety, preventing public misinformation, exposing misuse of public funds and corruption, revealing conflicts of interest among those in power. So, you know, all of these are things that happens um, that you as a a chartered accountant, you as a professional person, it is expected that you ensure that all these things are not taken with levity hand. You have to ensure that you are doing it as it is supposed to be done. You are not trying to cover crime. You're not trying to put the public safety in problem. You're not trying to misinform, give people misinformation. You're not trying to misinform people. Yeah. You're not trying to expose. I mean, you're not trying to hide corruption when you have the information. You say it as it is, even though you have to be very careful in some of these things. But then your integrity, the public interest must supersede your personal interest. So we have principle-based ethics and rules-based ethics. But before we go into that, I'm not sure I defined ethics here. Now, what is ethics? So we can say uh, it's a moral principles and values that guides an individual. So we can say it's a it's a moral principle and values that guides individual in making decision. And we can also say it guides an organization in making decisions. So it's the morals that you know that this thing is wrong, you shouldn't do it, you don't do it. You know that this thing is right, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. So you won't be doing some things because you are ethical. So now we're now saying principle-based ethics codes and rule-based ethics codes. So what is rule-based ethics? So they are specify rules and guidelines for ethical behavior, leaving little room for interpretation or judgment. So in rule-based, things are already the way we want it to be. We don't give room for any form of okay, maybe you can now twist it this way. No, it is the way it is. It is the way it is. So it is the way it is. That is the way it is. It means that in rule based, there are no room for flexibility. Things are is a law, and that's a law. Just imagine that somebody kill somebody now. God forbid, somebody go ahead and kill somebody. I mean, it's a law that that person will be killed. So it's a rule. There is nothing like he he did not kill him very well. Did he die? Is it the one that killed him? Yes. So there's nothing like he killed him small. He did not kill him finish. No. He killed him, he killed him. He killed her, he killed her. Kill is kill. Rule is kill the person. Even though most of the people in power now they are skeptical about so it becomes important that the rule based leaves no room for adjustments. Now we have principle-based codes of ethics. Now this one outlines general principles and values that guides ethical decision making, requiring professionals to use their judgment and critical thinking to apply these principles in various situations. So you have this principle-based. Principle-based is the opposite of rule-based. Principle-based is the one that gives you that flexibility to use your judgment to make decision. It gives you that flexibility to use your judgment to take decision on some of these matters. Rule-based will not give you that avenue. So we have fundamental principles. What are the fundamental principles? Number one, integrity. So integrity is number one principle. So integrity means being truthful, being straightforward, being honest. That's integrity. You are saying it the way it is. You are not covering this one, you're not covering that one from. No, you are being honest. You say it the way it is seen. So you pick up a financial statement now, you're auditing it. You have to say it the way you see it. Now, we have objectivity. Objectivity means when you are not biased, when you are neutral, you make sure things are not having element of impartiality. Everything is the way it is supposed to be done. Then we have professional competence and due care. So professional competence in the sense that you are capable, you have the required skills, you have the updated skills and experience to carry on with the job, and you are acting due care in the sense that you are acting in alignment with the law of your profession. That is it. That is professional competence. You are competent, you are professionally competent, and you have due care in your vault. So that is what we mean by professional competence and due care. Another fundamental principle is confidentiality. You don't release information that are not meant for the third party or general public. You see, because as an auditor, you'll be seeing so many jargons, you'll be seeing so many good things, you'll be seeing so many bad things, you see crazy things, you see, I mean, fair things, all of that. You see so many things. But then you, as a professional person, you are not expected to go and be saying all of that here and there because that's not why you have it. That's why we say there must be a fundamental principle speaking to confidentiality, right? Now we have professional behavior. Professional behavior means that you are complying with the laws and regulation, and you are, as much as possible, you are avoiding anything that can bring conflicts between you and the professional body. Now we have, are we getting it so far?
Yes, sir, we are following you.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now we have conceptual framework. So the conceptual framework have different ones. We have self-interest threat. We have self-review threat. We have advocacy threat. We have familiarity, intimidation, and all of that. Now, self-interest threat. As the name sounds, you are under influence of personal gain to make your decision. So it can result as a result of financial or other interests of members of their immediate or close family. Financial trend, loan, intensive, all those ones are regarded as self-interested. So all these threats, I mean, this threat is talking about the fact that you are trying to influence your decision based on personal gain. You know you are going to go home with a whole lot of millions of naira. And even if it's 5 million naira, I mean, it's like a free body. Some auditors are not even earning up to 5 million in a year. So when they see 5 million as something that will enter their money, their purse, sometimes they may want to break the protocol and just want to expose themselves to that self-interested interest. So that self-interest threat is just talking about when your personal gain, when your personal benefits is influencing your judgments on the particular work that you're working on. Then we have self-review threats. So when receiving one's work leading to bias judgment, circumstances are same person reviewing their own business decisions or data significance can influence over an entity's financial reports, discovery of a significant error in previous work. So self-review threats is that you are the one that is reviewing the work it is. For instance, now let's say you are an auditor. And I say, bros, come on, I have money. I don't even need to tell you I have money. I'll just tell you, okay, I have a business and I want you to do the financial statement for because you know I have money. Boom, you start. You ask me for any information I give you, you start. As you started, you did the job, and now you have completed the job. You did the job well, right? Now you've completed the job. You are now telling me, I mean, and I tell you, okay, oh, you'll be the one that will audit it. that is going to pose a self-interest rate, because if there's anything you have done that is rubbish, you think you have done every good thing that is needed. But then you can be exposed to self-review traits. Then we have advocacy traits. So when you are speaking for more like a client, when you become like a legal testifier, maybe in the court of law, that something like this has not happened, this one has happened, and all of that. So that is advocacy. We have familiarity traits. The familiarity trait is talking about when you have closeness with people that you want to, when you have too much closeness with people that you want to take decision on their financial statements. So it's going to pose a familiarity threat to you. It's going to pose a familiarity threat to you. So you must run from that. Then we have intimidation threat. When peer pressure influence MD action to examine. So when fear or pressure influence judgments or action. So when you're already intimidated, maybe like for instance now, where you are doing auditing, the the owner of the business is a big man and he's telling you, look, you need to do something like this, you need to do it this way to ensure that the book is fine. It becomes difficult for you because, and the MD now say, if you don't do it, just consider that you're no longer working with this organization. Therefore, the part that you may not be the internal auditor, or maybe they don't even have. So it's a way that the MD has told you, I'll fire you, means that you're about to go. But then that is a threat. That's an intimidation threat. So list the threats to independence which might arise as a result of the above, explaining. Oh, maybe I didn't copy that question. So we have how do we safeguard the profession? How do we safeguard these auditors? How do we safeguard the accountants from this problem of different battles that can face them in the process of carrying out their responsibility and making ends meet? So we have three different safeguards. So there is a safeguard created by the profession. Sorry. There is there's a safeguard created by profession, the legislation or government, or regulation, then provided by the work, and the one provided by individual. So now, created by the profession, what are the things that makes it up? We have educational training. That's why you are passing through ICAN so that you will know. If you not pass ICAN, most of us will not know what we know today, because you did not pass through ICAN. So there's corporate governance regulation, professional international accounting standard, international standards. Then ICAN's own disciplinary procedure. So ICAN have their own procedure where they will punish people that are disappoints. Then we have safeguard in work environment. So we have protection for instance, I don't know if you work in if you work in a company whereby there are internal auditors, external auditors, you see something depending on the company. In some companies, HR that will do the program. In some company, it is the audit people that will do the awareness for the people. Now we have different kind of audit programs. The essence is for the auditors to be protected. I mean, there are some things that auditor will hear in a company, and he will not be able to say it out, because if you say it out, it may cause a whole lot of issues. So they say they are safeguarding work environments to ensure that auditors and accountants are protected at all times. We have safeguards created by individual. Sorry, excuse me. So we have the ones protected by individual, created by individual. So comply with the. So how do I safeguard myself? Number one is to comply with professional development requirements. I up, I upload. I keep records of contentious issue and approach to decision making. I have a broader, uh, having a broader perspective on how organization operates by using independent mentor. So, so these ones are created by individual. You are trying to use somebody that has gone ahead of us. We mirror him to achieve those things we want to achieve. Then you have a broader perspective about the organization. You you do all this. Well, whatever. You do all this to ensure that you are safeguarded. So safeguarding from the profession, government law, safeguarding from work ethics, then safeguarding from individual. Those are the safeguards. Then we have independence, objectivity, and integrity. Of course, you agree with me that independence, independence is they are all different. They are all different. So we have all this actual perceived to be independence, fees and pricing. So all these things are different categories of things that can threaten the independence, objectivity, and integrity of an auditor. All those family and personal relationship, close business relationship, financial threats, loans, loans and guarantees, employment or former employment with assurance clients. So all these things, if you read, you can read all these things are what can put the integrity, the objectivity, and the professional competence of a person to be under check. Seriously. Now, ethical conflict resolution. So the ethical conflict resolution, number one thing is to what is the relevant fact? How do you resolve conflict? Number one thing is to identify the relevant facts. After identifying the facts, you say ethical issues involved. What are the ethical issues involved as a result of what you do in the first leg? So we have relevant facts. So we have ethical issues involved. What is the issue? What's the issue? Are you threatened? What's the challenge? Are you exposed? Is your independence under question? Are you having familiarity threat? Are you having um, self-review threats or self-interest threats? Is there advocacy threat? We will be able to identify what kind of threat. The fundamental principle related to the matter in question. So, what is relating to it? What is the relationship between this issue and the fundamental principles? Then we have established internal procedures, alternative course of action. So these are ways that we can use to manage such a situation. So we have no resolution if, after exhausting all possibilities, the ethical conflict remains unresolved, then there's an issue. The accountant should, where possible, refuse to remain associated with matter conf, matter creating conflicts. The accountant should determine that the circumstances it is it is appropriate to withdraw from engagement and or assignment or to sign altogether. So, in essence, we are saying that the auditor, after all this um, conflict resolution, the relevance facts, the ethical issues, the fundamental principles related to the matter have been taken into consideration after we've established internal control, internal procedure, alternative course of action. Then the accountant may have no issue or any other way to resolve things than to quit that kind of job. So we have something we call NOCLA. We are familiar with it. This is a non-compliance with laws and regulation. That is laws and regulation, NOCLA. That's a non-compliance with laws and regulation. So when you don't comply with laws and regulation, whether intentional or unintentional, you have violated the law. So fraud, corruption, bribery, money laundering, terrorism, financing, and proceed of time and security makes markets and trading, banking order, another financial product and services, data protection, tax, pension, liabilities and payments, environmental protection, and public health safety. So, non-compliance with laws and regulation. That is not like. So, what are the auditor's responsibility? Number one, you as an auditor, you have to obtain understanding. So, what are the auditor's responsibility? Number one, you have to understand matters that are relating to NOCLA, non-compliance with laws and regulations. You're not compliant with laws and others, then you have to be careful because that is a responsibility of yours. Then we have advice management. So, advice management to take appropriate and timely action, including rectify, remediate, or mitigate consequences of non-compliance, deter commission. So, you have to advise the management that the consequences of not following the rules and regulations, the laws and regulations of the land may cause issues. They evaluate financial management's purpose. I mean, evaluate management response. Determine if the management response is timely. So you evaluate the management's response. Determine if the management's response is timely, adequate, and they want to take action. Action taken to deter future non-compliance and steps taken to reduce the risk of reoccurrence according to disclosure of an appropriate. So then you now, if you look at that again, you now look at determine the further, if the further action need to be needed in the public interest, considering the factors such as legal, regulatory framework, and agency, and all of that. So my people, chapter 2, that is it. Is pretty short and straightforward. I should have do chapter 3, but I'm tired. So just bear with me. So far so good. That is professional ethics and code of conduct. Professional ethics and code of, and I think I can usually like to ask to play with that question. So do we have any questions so far? Any question? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. So I think I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Can I go ahead?
Oh, why not? Feel free, sir.
Okay. Under that, no, is it no clear or not clear? I
Not
think I
clear.
would need you to expatiate that part more.
Okay. So nuclear means that the full meaning is non-compliance with laws and regulations. So the non-compliance with laws and regulation is by your management, right? Now, you are there as a professional person to now tell them this is not in alignment with laws and regulations, right? Now, that's why we say this non-compliance can be intentional or non-intentional. Examples include fraud, corruption and bribery, money laundering, terrorism, financing, proceed of crime, security markets and trading, banking and other financial products, services, data, protection, like that. So in essence, what we are trying to say is that someone can be in an organization whereby the order of the day are things that they are doing are not in compliance with laws and regulations of the land. For instance, now a limited liability company is expected to file for annual returns no later than 31st. I mean, 6 months after the financial statement, after the financial year end, right? Now, if your organization is not complying with that, you are not complying with laws and regulations. Do you get it, sir?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Okay, is it clear? Something more?
All right, it is clear. It is clear.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So any other person have any question? Wonderful people. Oh. Right. So I have question for us here. So this is a past question from May 2022. So there are 5 fundamental principles of ICAN code of conduct for members, which auditors must comply with while carrying out their duties. Right? Now it's now saying explain the requirement of explain the requirements for application of ethics by ICAN members. So here, they're asking us, what are the requirements? What are the requirements for application of ethics by ICAN members? So we just did this now, right? So somebody want to help?
Good afternoon, sir. I think that question is talking about the safeguards of ICAN.
Okay. So what are the safeguards now?
Like you mentioned, training and like disciplinary measures or procedures, corporate governance, and experience. Like you said, we are learning. Me now, we want to become accountants. So all these processes that we are going through, the education, the training, the experience is part of it. So those are part of the safeguards that the body has created.
Okay. 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 Anybody have a contrary opinion? Nobody. It's okay. So in essence, we are saying application by ICAN members. So the requirement for application by ICAN members. So just like as she has said, so the regulations are there for, like we said, both the what's it called? The external, the internal, the trainings that we have to pass through. So we must comply with the regulation to ensure that we are not in alignment. I mean, we are in alignment with what is required of us. Otherwise, drifting outside of that will make us to be going against the principle of the land. So we have the B part. Explain the fundamental principles of ICAN code of conduct. This is the simplest, Abi.
Yes, sir.
This is okay. So, no, don't say it. Let somebody else talk. I want somebody else. Mr. Oyekola John. Oh, yeah. Talk to me, sir.
Sorry, the question again, sir.
Oh, this man is not here. All right. So the explain the fundamental principles of ICAN codes of conduct. Do you remember we just mentioned this?
All right. I think they are integrity, objectivity,
Okay.
professional competence, and due care, confidentiality.
Wow. Wonderful. You are showing me your skills. ICAN is asking you, show me your skill. Let me see if you can become a professional. When I can ask you a question in skills level, the way they ask questions for each of the stages are different. In skills, you see that when they're asking question in audit, It's not as detailed as professional level. So the what they are just expecting of you from questions in skills is show me your skills. Let me know that you've got the skill that can make you to become a professional. Then when you get to the professional, they will show you another one. Okay, show me that you are truly a professional so that I can give you this qualification. It's pretty straightforward. So once you are able to show them the skill, just like as you've mentioned these ones now, straightforward, you have shown them a skill that I can list them. You need to show them another skill that I know what each of them means. What is integrity? What is objectivity? What is professional competence and due care? What is confidentiality? What is professional behavior? You need to link all these things to the reality. You need to connect it, and making sure that it becomes something that makes sense. With that, you're going to get good marks from such question. Thank you so much for that answer. So we
Thank you.
have another one. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Under what circumstance may an auditor be required to disclose information to a third party? I'm not sure it's part of what we did now, but we should be able to know, right? We should be able to know.
I think when the law requires it.
When the law requires it, that's when there is a judicial process. That one is there. Any other person? Anybody else? How about
Or can we say
when it is okay? Go ahead, sir.
okay, can we also say when it is in the public interest?
Yeah, that's the one I was about to say. So it has to be in public interest. The public interest, if you are disclosing that confidentiality to safeguard the interest of the public, you have not done anything wrong. Then can we mention another one? Another
Can we also
person?
say when he is under duress?
Under duress. Ah, hey, that one get us view. Duress. There's nobody that will be under duress that will not disclose what you are not supposed to disclose. We are talking duress. So those are circumstances, though. I mean, if somebody disclose something under duress, it will now become an issue when they get to the court to justify how there was a duress truly, because you need to bring evidence. And there was, we will not see court case. Yeah? So it's a difficult thing. I mean, it's just a point now. You disclose it. Do you have any evidence? No. But then somebody will have to disclose at that point in time. Like the person doesn't have a choice. So when you have the duty to disclose, when it is required by your profession to disclose it, then you have to disclose it. So that one is similar to that public interest, because when you have a duty to disclose professional information like that, it means your professional duty discloses it. It is now your professional duty. It is not your personal gain now. It is a professional duty. Are you getting it? It's a professional duty of yours to do, no longer your personal thing to do now, but the profession in you that is now speaking it. So I think those are some of the points. All right. So let's do this number 6. So I will give us the other one down there as an assignment. So somebody want to read? Can we see it? Somebody can read for us.
All right. In the course of carrying out their assignments, the
Sir?
auditors, can I go on?
Yes, sir.
In the course of carrying out their assignments, the
Yes, sir.
auditors are usually faced with threats created by a broad range of circumstances required.
Yes.
Here, explain three types of threats usually faced by auditors. B, explain the circumstances that may give rise to the threats in here above. C, highlight three major categories of safeguards which may mitigate or reduce threats to auditors.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Benedict, talk to us. Mr. Benedict, are you there? You read question. Mr. Benedict, no talk again. Okay. Mr. Victoria. Madam Victoria. Oh, you said baby. Oh, yeah, talk. Talk. Oh. Maybe she's busy. Nobody is busy as a rich question like this. Okay. Madam Ruth Chioma, you want to talk to us? Yes, ma'am. God bless you. All right. Seems our network is having issue. Right?
She did not unmute though.
Okay. Who said she did not meet? Somebody said she did not meet.
Modupe.
I'm here.
Madam Modupe, yeah, continue, Jerry.
Can
No,
you
it's
hear me?
Madam Ruth that wants to continue. She said she's here already.
Can you hear
Hey. This woman.
Madam Ruth, we can hear you.
I said the first threat is self-interest threat. The second one is
Okay.
self-review threat. Then the third one is the advocacy threat.
Okay. We are with you, ma.
Right?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
almost there.
You said?
Ma? We are
Can you
with
hear
you, ma.
what I said? Okay.
Yes, ma.
I've listed it.
Okay, they asked for 3, Abby.
Yes.
You forgive them, Jara, now. It's not easy to collect 6 marks in
Okay.
ICAN because they mentioned 3.
Familiarity threat
Okay.
and intimidation threat, right?
Yeah. Thank you. You can explain all of them, right?
It's not all. Oh.
Which one is
It's
that I
not
cannot
all.
explain? Tell me.
But
Yeah, tell me the one you cannot explain. Let me explain it for you. Which one there?
Okay. Intimidation threat.
That one is the simplest. Is it only that one that I cannot explain? Can you explain others?
I can try, sir. I will try.
For others, Abi?
Yes.
Okay. So intimidation threat is that you now, as an auditor, just like as the name sounds, You are being intimidated. You are being put under influence to do what you are not supposed to do. For instance, now, if your MD is telling you that it's either you do this thing like this, that it will favor us, or you lose your job. That's intimidation. It will impact on what you want to do. Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
You as an individual, you will not like to lose your job because you know that, number one, you have responsibilities. You don't want to be idle at home. You want to support the family, to do one or two things. So it's difficult for you to say you want to quit. So it's some of the best bets for so many people is to say, okay, I will just do what they said. Shebi is their business. But then ICAN is saying that is very wrong. Don't do it, right? But then here, what intimidation threat is saying is that you are under intimidation. You are under condition that are not favorable to you to do what you are not supposed to do. And that's because you're having threats from your maybe a superior person. I think I put an example in that thing. Let me see. Let me see that. Okay, is it? Let me check. There's an example there. Intimidation threats. Sorry. The audit manager has just your assurance firm is Audit of Happy Goods. The audit manager has just come to engage the managing director's daughter, who he met through a mutual friend. The managing director owns 51% shares in Happy Goods. Can you imagine now? Looking at this kind of scenario, your assurance firm is auditor of Happy Goods. Now, you have an assurance firm that is the auditor of Happy Goods. The audit manager has just become engaged to the managing director's daughter. Now, let's say I'm the auditor. I am now engaged to the MD's daughter, who I met through a mutual friend. So I met that babe through a mutual friend. And this my babe father, he owns 51% shares in Happy Goods. Now, me, I don't fall in love with babe now. If the father now say, if you cannot do this, then you have to leave my child. Lover boy now. Lover boy go on do. So I'm do you get the logic? So it's that simple.
Yes, sir.
It's that simple. So I don't love up. No blame me on I love. I love. Shebi, you no go blame me now. Have you go blame me? Yeah, so that's it. So explain the circumstances that may give rise to threats in A above. What are the circumstances? Somebody who will help us. Time don't go. Okay. It's almost 4. All right. Madam Odupe. This auntie. She don't want to talk. And I like her voice.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good evening once again. So this is not my voice. I've been stressed. That's why. That's why the voice is like that. So some
The voice
circumstances
is
that
wonderful.
thank you, sir. So some circumstances that can give rise to threats. Like close relationship, like family relationship. if someone's
Mm,
family member is part of like maybe the audit team, you may want to
okay.
compromise your stand, you understand, or they may want to be like, after all, we are family members now, something like that.
Mm.
So because of that, it might be a threat. You might want to
What kind
yield.
of threat?
You said
What kind of threat would that fall under?
familiarity.
It's
And even
familiarity.
if the person is willing to, it can be like self-interest too. So it can be familiarity, it can be self-interest. Because I know that if I yield, there may be personal gains, there may
Mm-hmm.
be financial benefits too. So something
Oh,
like that.
this until life financial benefit. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
So, Mr. This gentleman. That bros don't run away. Oh. Mom, yeah. Mr. Yekola, shall you help us answer this last one? But we'll call it a day. Oh, it's 4:35. Wow. All right. So we have three major categories of safeguards which may mitigate or reduce the threat of auditor. Can anybody help us? We just did all of this. Huh? So they are pretty simple. Show me that skill. Nobody. Let me show you.
All right, sir. I think we mentioned
Okay.
educational training and experience.
Okay.
That one is safeguard by profession.
Yeah, safeguard. Thank you very much. Safeguard by profession. Yeah, which one's the next one? They are like three now. They are even three. But yeah, by profession one. By where again?
We have safeguards by. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Then we have safeguard by workplace.
Thank you. Workplace. Wonderful.
Safeguard by individual.
Individual.
Is it
Thank you very
individual
much.
workplace?
Yeah. You have said it well. Thank you. That means you guys you all follow the class. I really enjoyed that. Thank you very much for that. So I'll try as much as possible during the week to see if I can have I don't know if we have lecture tomorrow again. I didn't check the timetable, but if we have, definitely I'll try as much as possible to be there. Right.
Please, I want to ask you a question.
All right. Is it relating to the class or so that I can stop the video?
Yes.
I can stop
I want
or I
to ask
should.
if this video can be on YouTube for easy download.
Yes, we will put it on YouTube.
Okay, please, the picture quality should be okay.
Yeah. So as regard the picture